How are you today, Curtis? Will you crease yourself and be reborn, like me?
Uh, sure, yes.
Man, I wish I knew. Like, the game trailer says no.
Mm.
So I'm
Well,
not able to see. I
I
want to
don't
see
know
what
what
yes is.
creasing myself means.
You gotta be an origami, I think.
Is that like folding under pressure? Because I never do that.
I'm slow clapping right now. This is very well done.
Great.
Curtis, welcome to another post game. This
I'm
is
here again.
yeah. We could say we teased it in the previous video of Ghost of
Mm.
Tsushima. Paper
Yeah.
Mario, the Origami King. We got an announcement trailer just dropped. No forewarning. No Nintendo Direct announcement. Just plop the trailer on YouTube,
It's
posted on Twitter, and we
yeah.
got
I mean,
this.
after the week of announcements we've had, it's been interesting to see how things have unfolded.
So you're so good at this. There's so many puns to make about this. But
Yeah. So Paper Mario. There's a new one. So
yeah,
Colin, I think what's interesting about this announcement, right? Like I think there's a lot of announcements that are being made in the last couple of weeks and will be made over the next few months, where there's just so much stuff happening in the world right now where you can speculate and you can kind of try and decipher, like, was this originally how this announcement was going to be planned, just on a random Thursday morning at 9 a.m., or was it going to be part of like a bigger presentation? The thing that's interesting about Paper Mario and the Origami King is this is following rumors from about a month and a half ago.
yeah. It's
Um,
about the same time we got those Mario 3D
yeah.
rumors as well.
So there was some rumors that I mean, I don't know if you and I have talked about these, but I'm pretty firmly in camp believe. I guess especially after this announcement. There's rumors about, an upcoming Mario anniversary that Nintendo is going to be kind of remastering, remaking a lot of 3D Mario games.
Mm-hmm.
64, Sunshine, and Galaxy 1 and 2, even Super Mario 3D World,
Yep.
and bringing them to Switch. And also part of that rumor was that a new Paper Mario would be on the way.
Yep.
And I tried to reread about it, because I don't remember where, like, the rumor was kind of came up from a couple different places, Eurogamer being one, I believe. But at one point, the rumor kind of used the phrase regarding Paper Mario that it was returning to its roots, which is exciting, for, I think, fans of Paper Mario. Like, the thing that people have been pleading for is for Paper Mario to be more of an RPG again, whereas the last couple games have been more puzzle based and very, very light, or just no RPG mechanics really present at all. So this trailer, Colin, I don't know how you feel. I don't know if this trailer has, like, proven that part of the rumor yet.
Mm-hmm.
It gets us close, but
So I went back and watched the original trailer for that game, Sticker Star. That
yes.
yeah, and I don't want to say it lied to us, but like it kind of lied to us in a way.
How so? Because it's been a long time.
Well, it basically, like, it shows some parts of stickers, but, like, I guess in a way, like, it coming. So at the time we had the two RPG style ones, and then we had the side scroller on Wii, in which was a different change of form.
Yeah.
It looked like Sticker Star was actually going back. We had the turn-based combat.
Yeah.
We had, like, more of like an overworld type thing. I don't think it showed like any like companions, I guess, which maybe like this game actually does. But yeah, it just seemed like at the time with Sticker Star, like, oh, okay, this is actually going to go back to being like an RPG, leveling up, maybe having partners, having different items, and like it certainly wasn't that.
So I bought Sticker Star and I was pretty excited for it. I remember being, like, really hopeful, and I played, I think, probably about half of it before I gave up. And, like, for context, like, for anyone who didn't play it, I think one of my issues with it, and I feel like it's the thing that I've heard echoed a lot from other people is, yeah, it did have like a turn-based combat system, but the combat was you were using stickers that were consumable items. And so it wasn't like, oh, I have my jump move and that's the move I have. Or I have my hammer, and that's the move I have. You would have stickers like that, but they were limited. And if you ran out, you ran out.
So, for example, if you were fighting a spiny shelled, Koopa or whatever, the little spiny shelled, red things, if all you had were jumps, that's going to hurt you and it's not going to do any damage. Yeah, and you were just screwed if you didn't have a hammer or anything.
And the other thing, for me, the reason I quit actually is I got to a boss fight that I didn't have the stuff I needed.
Yeah.
And I think the alternative was basically backtracking and spending hours, I guess, and kind of grinding out and getting the stickers I needed again, and then going back to the boss fight. And I was at that point I was I'm good.
Yeah. And even playing it recently, it's just confusing. That the sticker star was just confusing to me. Even just you have the real life objects you can pull into the game, and there's the aspect of painting.
I forgot about that.
Painting stickers on other things. Yeah. And they just used it so infrequently that you just always mostly forgot about it.
And it's a series that, right, the first two games especially were heavy into the RPG stuff. You're leveling up. You've got a party, a party kind of, right? Maybe not a large one, but you have your partner characters, and it has a really interesting battle system. And they really have leaned heavily into the paper mechanics, right? And using the paper style to create puzzles. And so it's become more of this puzzle adventure rather than an RPG series. And I think that can be tough too, because it's I feel this is one of the more popular series that the people that don't like it versus people that like it isn't so much these are the problems with the game. It becomes this thing of, it's not the thing I want it to be. And I hated Sticker Star.
Yeah.
I hated that game.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if that game existed in a vacuum where Thousand Year Door and the original Paper Mario didn't exist, and there wasn't this expectation of it being an RPG. I wonder if my opinion of that would have changed.
Yeah.
Or if I would see that game in a better light.
So, did you end up playing Color Splash at all on Wii U?
I did not. Okay. That was one that I was, again, cautiously optimistic for. And I think once reviews hit, and it was pretty clear that it wasn't an RPG.
Yeah.
And in the vein of Sticker Star, where it was more puzzle-centric, I just never got it. I never picked it up.
Yeah, I never... And that was, one of the very last Wii U games that came out. That was kind of, the year... I think it was 2016, where, the Wii U was basically, already dead, and they weren't really putting anything out on it. Color Splash came out, and from what I remember, it seemed to, I guess even gameplay, all that kind of aspect seemed to resemble Sticker Star, but it always seemed like it was a step in the right direction, which still wasn't, I guess, satisfying to what everybody really wanted, which brings us now to the Origami King, which makes me wonder how much more of a step in that direction are they going to take.
So Colin, so far this video we've been, maybe cautious. We've talked about the series, the franchise progression, and how it's maybe gotten worse in a lot of people's eyes with each entry. I think Sticker Star notably being the one, right?
Yeah.
But I am hopeful in the Origami King. I think this is the one, and I don't know, from what we've seen in the trailer, it doesn't. There's nothing in the trailer that is guaranteeing that yes, this is an RPG, right? I think the Nintendo Europe eShop, if you look at the page, it does label it as RPG strat adventure.
Okay.
Which that's something. Yeah. Although the website labels it as adventure puzzle or something, or action adventure. There's enough here that whether it's a full-on RPG or not, I think I'm in, and I think I'm really excited for this. And here's why. One is, and I think it's the thing that really almost all the Paper Marios have always had going for it, is like the writing. So even like just a little bit of the writing that we've seen in this so far, like it looks really funny. It looks goofy. It looks weird. There's those scenes where we see all the toads dancing without faces. Like that's super creepy. What's going on there? The intro scene of the trailer is like a really dark and weird tone. And even though it's not Peach, right? Or like it doesn't seem, or who even knows what that is, right? Yeah. Like mind control Peach, or maybe like that's really cool. Even like I think I told you last night, like the word I would use to describe this trailer was epic, and I try not to use that word very much because I think it's overused, but like there's just so much going on in this trailer that looks exciting. The thing that I think like has me hooked the most is the 20 to 30 odd seconds we've seen of the combat system in this game. So you see it a little bit in the trailer, and if you haven't seen it, there is another like 12-minute video that I think is on the Japanese Nintendo YouTube channel, or like it's on the Japanese website for this game. And it shows like just a straight unedited clip of like a turn in the for the combat system. What's interesting about it to me, and I'm curious on your take as well, is so you're on like this circular platform, and the enemies are lined up, and you can rotate like the dials of the platform, of like the circular platform, to line up enemies, and if you do that, you get attack bonuses. That's about the extent that we know of this combat system so far, but I think that alone, like watching it a couple times and like taking in like what's happening, I think there's just so much potential there. Yeah, there's so much potential because you can think of all the different moves, right? Like the thing we saw is you line up the Goombas in a line and you jump on each one. Yeah. But maybe the hammer, instead of like holding it above your head and swinging it down, maybe you're swinging it like in a circle. Like maybe you spin or something, and it becomes you want enemies all like in a circle around you. So like that's exciting to me. I think the potential of the combat system is really exciting, and like I and everyone else wants to know, like, do you level up in this game? Yeah. But I'm super curious. I would love for them to put out like, I don't know, an 8-minute video for the combat system and just walk through like, this is how this works.
Yeah, and I think with the like rotating kind of like I'm sure you'll maybe have like an enemy that can't be rotated, like, and how does that work? And like adding to difficulty. Work? Yeah, same with that. I think like even on the question of leveling up, I think I would probably still play Sticker Star even if there was any kind of XP, like even if the stickers did their dumb thing and that. And I don't know if Color Splash had any like XP. I don't think so, I would assume. Yeah. Which I'm actually going to say we probably are not going to get that because we don't really see anything like that. We see level of hearts, and then we see like coins, and there's like times in here where like Mario's got like thousands of coins.
There's a lot of people pointing out like the number of coins you have, and I'm trying not to like, I don't want to look into that too much because it just feels like it could just be a save file where they just have a ton of coins.
A dev unit where they can just up the coins like, whatever they want.
The number of coins doesn't necessarily mean a lot to me. It's the health does though, right? Because the health throughout the trailer, we see it change from like 50 to 120 to 150. So that at least shows some kind of progression. But it's unclear to what extent.
Yeah. So a question I kind of have with all of this is, I would want it to go back to its RPG roots for one main thing. And this is tinfoil hat conspiracy. I want to say maybe like the change to Sticker Star was made because we had the other RPG series, Mario and Luigi, which was on 3DS. And considering what has actually recently happened to Alpha Dream, which seems like they don't exist anymore, we probably, I would assume, not going to be getting any Mario and Luigi games anytime soon, which would then make we have this gap now of Paper Mario doing its own thing, Mario and Luigi not existing anymore. Could we get Paper Mario to get back to that traditional kind of gameplay.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think that's the hope for, myself and almost everybody, it feels like sometimes. But one thing I've been thinking about, so one, we should say this is developed by Intelligent Systems, who is the Fire Emblem people. Yep. So that's of note, right? Mm-hmm. I think the press release for this game, I don't know if it uses the term RPG. It does say like puzzle solving. Like it uses the word puzzle and not strategy, which I feel like that's intentional.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a higher chance of this game being still more puzzle and less RPG. But I've been thinking about it a bit since the game's been announced, and I think like, as much as of course I would love a full-on Paper Mario in the vein of Thousand Year Door that's just full-on RPG, maybe like a 3-person party, like levels, equipment, badges, like the whole shebang. I would love that.
Items.
But like I think that one of the issues with Sticker Star isn't just that it wasn't an RPG, it's that like it was what we talked about, right? You have these consumable items that are required in boss fights, and you could very easily just not have them when you need them, and like that sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have game mechanics, like it's cool to have game mechanics that are then required to be used in boss fights, because like that's interesting. The game is making you potentially use attacks or abilities you wouldn't otherwise use, so that's always good. But when the setup for it is such that like you could just potentially not have it, and that just leads to frustration, I think that's what bogs it down. But if you're thinking like, hey, here's like a puzzle strategy game that's developed by the Fire Emblem team, like they can do some strategy. They know what's up.
Yeah.
With that, like on that front, like even if it's not a fully fledged RPG, if the puzzles are fun and hard or just interesting, like if there's an interesting depth there, like even the combat system, right? Like even if you're not leveling up, even if like that would be a bummer, but if the combat system is fun and engaging, and it's really like cool to solve those puzzles that the combat system provides you, then I think it's a little easier to overlook that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, so one part in the trailer that really got me excited as a Wind Waker fan, there's like a part where you're like on a boat like sailing, and there's like different islands, and that just got me really excited. Do you think that's just going to be like a world specific thing, or is that going to be like
I'm really
all the different stages?
Like if I had to guess, I think the stages are probably going to be, I don't know, I think it points to a couple scenarios, right? Like it could be like, this is an interconnected world, and you sail to each new city or location. Like that would be awesome. I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
I like there's like the question mark island.
Yeah, it's so
that you
cool.
see, like that's interesting. So like maybe you land there and there's puzzles, or there's like optional like stuff there. Like again, the idea of having a more open environment to explore, and we've seen that in like the desert location as well. It's like much more open, which is great. You also get you have on the screen when they're sailing, there's the option to dive.
Yeah.
And we didn't even see what that looks like.
Yeah.
But if you can dive underwater and like have an area, like an open area there, or like whatever, like who even knows what that looks like. That's exciting too. Yeah. I think just, I don't know, it's hard to tell what it is, right? Like what that means, but it definitely seems to hint that this game might be a little bit more open.
Yeah.
For my very hazy memory of Sticker Star, I remember it. I think it was like level based, and I think it was pretty linear.
Yeah, it was.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But like if this game is maybe hinting at it being a bit more open ended, or just more open and like a lot more ability, a lot more options to explore.
Yeah.
That's exciting to me.
So in addition to the origami kind of aesthetic, we do also, and this seems to be new from what I can see, but there's like more of a paper mache kind of look to something. Like we have a Goomba at one point, but of course the big kind of paper mache is at the very end where Mario's Yeah, there's Donkey Kong, and then there's the Samus hat. Yeah, I do know there's like Goomba, Donkey Kong, and then of course Mario wearing the Samus paper mache hat, and he's like running around like shooting, and I don't know why, but that just screams to me amiibos. Like you tap the Samus amiibo, you get the Samus mache hat. Like, does that kind of like that? Maybe.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If you look at, I'm like watching that scene right now.
Mm-hmm.
It drops out of the sky and lands on him.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it is. Now it's cool, at least in like if it is an amiibo support thing, and if that scene is in the game, like unedited, like they're directly reacting to the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a pretty cool nod. So like if it is amiibo support, I guess the question is like how many? Like can you get Link's hat?
Yeah.
Right? Like can you do you get Star Fox's like goggles or like his like visor thing? I don't know. I'm trying to think of
Do I get Cloud's Buster Sword?
Yes.
I always wonder about like how much it's probably only going to support like Mario characters, probably something like that.
Sure.
Maybe some of
like
the Smash Brothers things,
the
like
core
Nintendo. Yeah, and maybe you'll be able to get like Captain Falcon or something like that, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really see those hats really doing like I don't think it's going to be like, oh well, to get by this you have to equip the Samus hat. You know, it just seems like to be like cosmetic and a little.
But it would be cool. It would be cool if like. I mean, I don't know. Like, he gets the helmet, but he's not necessarily got, like, a gun or anything, right? But
yeah,
it'd be cool if you had, like, you would get an ability in battle from it.
Yeah.
A couple, like, some things that I just thought about watching this trailer. And mostly I thought about it because, especially in Nintendo games, I think they're known for their attention to detail. There's always just so much going on. And you can easily, like Game Explain does, right? You can just pick apart every little scene and find so much there. And one thing I was thinking about, because this is origami, is I wonder if every origami character in this game is, like, real origami, if that makes sense. Like, did they just design it to look like origami? Or are all of these characters very, like, fully possible to make in real life with like an origami sheet?
Oh, sure. Yeah. You know, that seems like my Nintendo does a lot of this stuff. Like I'm on that side. Like every once in a while I'll be like, oh, some points are expiring or whatever. And they have a lot of like print out stuff for like Animal Crossing and all these different franchises. So I could clearly see them like putting out like cutouts on their website. They've
got to like, I get that we're in a period right now where if maybe not a lot of people will be buying physical releases. But I feel like any other time you pre-order at GameStop and you get like a pack of origami paper with instructions to make Peach the Origami King and I don't know, like some other character.
Yeah.
A Shy Guy or something. Like, but I don't know, man, like you see that there's a clip in the trailer where it's the Shy Guy floating, and then it like unfolds and folds back, and it turns into the Origami King.
Yeah,
like that stuff's super cool. I don't know. I feel like with the amount of detail that they add to their games, like it makes sense to me that this is probably all. Like I just want to imagine that they're sitting around a conference table, and when they're designing the characters, they're actually designing origami.
I want a foldable amiibo that you can like fold all the different ways. How about that? That'd be, I don't know. But yeah, like other than that, like we see like Bowser plays some part. He's kind of like folded most of the time. Obviously, it's
like a paperclip kind of thing.
Yeah, there's like, so it's a new thread. I assume, probably teaming up with Bowser. There's another paper. Origami.
Yeah, you will probably fight Bowser at some point in the game.
But like the first boss, and then it's like, oh, then now after the first boss, the new enemy comes in and takes over everything. Or
there's a shot right where you have Bowser's ship, and like a paper airplane rams into it.
Oh, that. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like Mario, Bowser, and company, or actually you pilot Bowser's ship at some point.
Yeah,
which would be cool. Like, what if you got an airship in this game?
Yeah. This is the Final Fantasy we've been waiting for.
Yeah. Paper Mario versus the Wonderful 101.
With a Koji Kondo version of Stand By Me playing in the background. I'll take that.
But there's a shot of Luigi with a go-kart, and so Luigi's pushing it towards Peach's castle at the beginning of the game. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have that screenshot of Luigi in the car, or Luigi's car kind of thing. Did you ever seen that screenshot?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then yeah, that's that one. Just Luigi's always kind of like part of the game, but he's not really like in the game. Yeah. Like he's kind of like a character you can find here and there, but he's not really like central to the plot. So I kind of think it might be something like that too. But
one thing I think we would be remiss to not talk about before we wrap up the video is the first couple of Paper Mario games, you would have partners, but not even just your partners. Like a lot of the worlds in those games were filled with characters that were different from just like, here's a Goomba, here's a Koopa Troopa, here's a Babam, a Boo. You know, there's always a Boo, a Babam, and a Lighthouse. But in those games, they were actual characters, right? Mm-hmm. Like you would have Toads that were they looked different. They had some kind of costume or some kind of outfit on. There was like Goombella is one of the names I like immediately remember. Yeah. But these were characters. They like had backstories. They were more than just like, yep, here is a very standard looking Goomba or Koopa or whatever. And so one of the complaints of the past couple of Paper Mario games, and something that people are pointing out with this one as well, at least from what we've seen, is they've gotten away from that. Mm-hmm. And I think there's like the argument that you lose a bit of character by not having that. What is your feeling on that? Do you feel like from what we've seen in the trailer, do you think it's going to go the same way? Or do you think there's still hope that we'll have at least a handful of like unique types of characters, maybe based on series traditions?
Yeah, I don't see that there's going to be that many. So I want to say it was like the Nintendo China YouTube account that GameXplain posted about that actually shows that Toad that has like the safari hat or whatever, like in combat with you. Yep. So I think that would be interesting. We see the Babam several times, but I don't know if he's going to be like a character, because he just looks like a plain old Babam. Like he doesn't look like, usually they have like other designs.
I mean, based on the trailer, like obviously and I'm blanking on the name, but there's the like origami fairy thing that follows you around. Like it's very likely going to be with you the entire game, right? Yeah. And probably, I think even based on like the combat screenshot, probably a helper and not so much someone that would fight with you in battle. Bowser being with you is interesting. I'm curious to know what Bowser's role is. But other than that, like the Babam, the Explorer Toad.
Yeah, we see like Kamek or the Magic Koopa a couple times.
Yeah, there's Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr., yeah.
is with you at some point. And so, yeah, I wonder, like the Explorer Toad is actually the thing that gives me hope, right? Like that's the one where it's like, okay, like are you gonna behave differently? Are you gonna have like a different attitude, or like are you gonna be a different kind of character than compared to any other Toad?
Yeah.
That's my hope, at least, but we'll see. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, and I hope that they're able to do that. I don't know how much more of a step in the right direction this would be. You want to know what something that just came to mind? Do you remember Mario and Luigi Paper Jam?
Yeah, I beat that game.
I literally just thought of that, and I'm like, I forgot they put Paper Mario in a Mario and Luigi. I think that was actually the last mainline.
Yeah,
Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi.
I believe it was
before they did the remakes of all that stuff. But
I beat that game. I remember liking it.
That was one I wanted to play.
There was like some weird stuff for sure in that game, but I do remember liking it for what it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it like blew me away or anything.
Yeah. But is there anything else we wanted to touch on in this trailer other than Origami Peach still being really creepy?
Yeah. Nothing yet. Nothing that I can think of. I'm hoping. So it's out in 2 months.
Yeah.
Almost 2 months to the day that we're recording this, which is cool. That's exciting. I'm hoping that I would like to see more of it. Like I get there was like the story that came out that basically they're not going to have a direct anytime soon because it's really hard for them to make it.
Right.
With teams working remotely.
Yep.
And I understand that, and obviously I don't want to like expect more of them than they're capable of. But with this reveal and it being as close to release, I would really like to see just a 5 to 10 minute video that's like, here's how combat works.
Yeah.
Here's like a couple early
Live
battles.
Or something. Yeah.
Because I think it's just because I want to know, and I think like once we get a clearer picture of how that combat system will play out, I think there's a lot of like back and forth I think I've seen online, like on Reset Era and Twitter, where it's people just either very like cautiously like optimistic, some that are like very quickly writing it off, some that are like, I don't know, maybe, but I don't think the trailer does a good enough job of like explaining this is what this combat system is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions still. So I think a 5 to 10 minute video that's like, here's a couple battles, here's confirmation that yes, you will have partners in battle with you, and that they will be able to have their own turns, or not.
Yeah, and we've seen Nintendo do that, like even with like overview trailers, like, oh, here's an overview on the Yoshi's Crafted World game, and it's like, oh, and I think they just put out one for like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So
and so maybe it's something we don't even get until early July or something. I would like it sooner, just because I want to know. I'm curious.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I mean, I guess like it's a fairly good chance that this game winds up with you rescue Peach.
I think so. Spoilers.
The opening of this trailer gives me hope that the story of this game is going to get weird and dark in like a really cool way, and it involving Peach.
Yeah.
Right. Like, just as the clip is playing for me again right now, at least on my computer, the trap is laid, and she doesn't transform into the Origami King. She's just Peach.
Yeah. Like
Origami Peach. So like again, very high likelihood she's like mind control or something weird going on. But I would love for her role in this to be different.
Yeah, I'd like to think they sometimes do have a little bit of a change to the formula here and there.
They do.
So I would hope that it wouldn't be like as cut and dry as like, oh yeah, you just do this and then you win. But yeah, other than that, like, we get little glimpses of maybe like motion controls. There's like a part where Mario's got like the accordion looking hands, and like he's like pulling down something, and it looks like you're supposed to move the Joy-Cons, stuff like that. So other than that, like, it seems like the trailer's longer than like 2 minutes and 16 seconds, but
it's just jam-packed.
It's got a lot of stuff in it.
So much stuff.
So
last thing I will say is I'm excited to see that they got Wall Market into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, Walmart, you mean, right?
Wall Market,
Oh, Wall Market. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that from something?
Yeah.
Never mind. I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm just being that guy. I'm sorry.
Great.
Yeah, I hope we do get some squats, and then actually that's where this all creates a fold, because you're actually doing the squats.
Yeah, you could say like timelines folding in on themselves.
Yeah, and crease the future. I don't know. Something like that. Anyways, this has been the post game. Curtis, thanks again for joining us. I didn't know if I would do something on this video. You were down for it, so thanks for listening to this 35-minute video on just all talking about Paper Mario and Nintendo.
In case you needed another one.
Yeah, in case Mario. there's plenty out there. We are definitely the best, most knowledgeable, no sarcasm group of individuals on the internet, in a group of two. So anyways, thanks for watching. We're probably gonna have more, again, mentioned it in the last video, more announcements coming up for video games all around the world. So probably going to be back with some more reactions and more post games. So again, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.